Alright, so about a month ago, I got this in the mail. Yes, that is a jury summons. Now, I'd love to say that I wasn't annoyed by getting it. I, of course, was. But I wasn't annoyed as I used to be. I used to hate getting them. Actually, I guess I still kind of hate getting them. But I used to just be like, okay, how do I get out of it? You know, just, trying to figure out how can I not have to do this. But then I believe I read a blog somewhere several years back, completely changed my tune on jury service. And now I get these, and I'm not really bothered by them. I went to the website, filled out the questionnaire, looked at some of the well, let's call them excuses to get out of jury duty, and none of them really fit. I mean, I probably could have stretched one of them, but I was like, I'm just gonna do it because, this is a free country, and one of the privileges that we have in a free country is that we a jury of our peers, and that's a really important thing for us to take advantage of. Is that it is a jury of our peers. We don't have a professional jury system, thankfully. The problem with jury duty isn't really jury duty itself, it's the system around jury duty. So you have a prosecution and a defense. They're looking for unbiased jurors. Well, there's no such thing as an unbiased juror. In my opinion, what they're really looking for is people who don't know the law, they don't know about jury nullification, and they're looking for pretty much, I would say, uneducated jurors, for the most part. Again, that's my opinion. And I say this because the last time I got summoned, I went and I never actually got into a courtroom. But the time before that, I was in a courtroom, and one of the questions that was asked by, I believe it was the prosecution, they were telling the entire room, if they don't present any, since we live in a innocent until proven guilty society, if they don't present any evidence, then they must say not guilty. So, and then they asked, I think they asked a guy, and he was like, yeah, okay, if you didn't present any evidence, then yeah, not guilty. Then they asked the next lady, and she was like, well, I'd have to see the evidence. And the prosecution basically reiterated this over and over and over. It seemed like went on for like 10 minutes. She was eventually excused. Now, looking back on it, I mean, even then I was just like, come on, really? I mean, do you not understand this? Looking back on it afterwards, that lady was probably just trying to get out of it by playing dumb. And then there was another guy who he was asked, I don't know exactly how this came up, but he was asked what his thoughts are on police. And he said that he generally trusts police, that he had friends that were police, yada blah, etc. He was dismissed quite quickly, which I didn't really understand until we broke for lunch. And then someone asked me if I'd heard anything about the case in my courtroom. I hadn't, because I don't talk to other people. I just kind of do what I need to do. I was sitting there, honestly, it didn't even dawn on me until after lunch that I was actually in a courtroom, and there was a good chance that I could get on a jury, which that realization kind of freaked me out because I didn't want to be on one. But anyway, he had told me that it was a DUI case, and that it was a girl, and she had blown 2 times over the legal limit. Now, whether you trust cops or not, it's kind of up to either up to the defense or the prosecution, probably the defense in this case, to find out when the last time that that breathalyzer machine, or however they did it, was calibrated, because they have to be calibrated. I believe they have to be calibrated every 3 months. So that's kind of the defense's job, find out when it was calibrated. So it doesn't really matter if you trust the police or not as a juror. And so that one, I just, it's like, okay, so he's biased towards police. How does that affect the results of a breathalyzer test? It doesn't. So those are some of the things that I think are what really annoy people about jury duty. Beyond the going to the courthouse, sitting in a room for the entire day, being bored out of your skull, which it's not so bad anymore because we have smartphones, they have power ports, so you can work on a computer or whatever. So it's not as bad as it used to be, where you had to bring a book, or you had to bring like a CD player or something to listen to music on. So, but yeah, I know that people still try to get out. They get they get the summons. They still try to get out of it. I just, I don't really. I used to, but I don't anymore because I understand the importance of it. The good news about this one, sort of good news, it's a call-in. It's not they didn't give me a date and time. It's a call-in. Um, and I basically on call for 5 days, and I had to be ready to report within 1 hour, which is fine. My guess, because every time I've had these call-in ones, I don't have to report on the first day, or on the second day, or on the third day, or on the fourth day. But I'll call in on the fourth day, and then I have to report on the fifth day. Um, my guess is that that's probably going to happen again, which just means that I'll be reporting next Friday. But, who knows? Maybe I'll get lucky this time and I don't have to report at all. In fact, my last jury service was I think it was right before the Memorial Day weekend, and we got to 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and people started speculating that they weren't going to finish before the weekend. That they weren't going to call anyone else in. Took until I think 3 o'clock, and then we all heard an announcement over the PA that they were done for the weekend. Thank you for your service, and you're all dismissed for the next. I think it's for the next 18 months is what I think it is. And once you've served, they won't pick you again. Once you've gone, not necessarily served on a jury, but once you've gone there, they don't pick you again for at least 18 months. Yeah, it's been far longer than. Maybe yeah, it's been 2 or 3 years, because the last time I went, I even had to call them and tell them I cannot report by 8 o'clock because I got kids, I got to drop them off at school. And they're like, what time can you report by? I was like, probably by 9. They're like, okay, that's fine, 9 o'clock. And when you get here, just check in and then find a seat. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, yeah, it's annoying, but it's part of living in a free society. So, one thing I will be trying to do, though, if I do get put on a jury, I may try to invoke jury nullification, depending on what it is, because they don't tell you about that when you get picked for a jury. They don't tell you that if you believe that the law is unjust, you can invoke jury nullification, which basically means that the person shouldn't even be on trial. So I might try to do that. I'm still hoping that I don't actually have to report, but we'll see. So far, I checked on Friday, and it said to check back Monday after 5. So that's 1 day down. Here's hoping. So, quick update. I diligently checked the court's website every day, either close to 5 or at 5, and every day said the same thing: check back tomorrow, check back tomorrow, check back tomorrow. Got to be Thursday, and I kept thinking to myself, I hope it isn't going to be like it always is, where I call or I check it and it says you need to report. And fortunately, it wasn't. It actually said this time, thank you, your service has been completed. You don't need to check anymore. Save your summons for as proof of your service. So yeah, pleasantly surprised there. All right, no service. So I mean, I think you get a summons every couple of years. I'm not honestly not sure. how often it is. But as of now, no jury service. All right.